Guys, I'll start by introducing Aarti ma'am. Aarti Acharya ma'am is basically a spiritual life coach and a healer. She's done her master's in business administration and has an exposure of worldwide in consulting clients. And now, due to COVID, she's taking online sessions related to tarot reading, counseling, meditation, and also life coaching. Any question that we've received from Aarti ma'am, we'll now be taking those questions from you guys, and Aarti ma'am will be answering. Ma'am, actually, I'm getting some messages that our camera should be rotated vertical. Can we do that?
Okay.
Yeah, that will be comfortable for people.
Okay.
So, ma'am, basically, today's topic that we had discussed is how to increase awareness and self-awareness. So, if we can start with that topic, if you can give us just a tip.
Yeah, sure. It's a very wonderful, and it's a stepping stone for anybody who wants to come into alignment, start with meditation and all. So awareness, basically, what is awareness? To be aware about what? To be aware about your own being, what you are thinking, what you are doing. So being aware is being present, becoming present, enjoying the present moment. Normally what we are doing, we either rehearse our past or daydream about the future.
Yeah.
This is the activity mind does normally when we are on autopilot mode. I call it autopilot. So when you become aware, what you do, you enjoy the present moment, you be present, you be alive in the moment, being aware about each and everything, what is happening around you, and being aware about each and every sound which is like whatever you are hearing, you just enjoy that moment in present. That is being aware. That is called awareness, basically.
Yeah. And meditation plays a very big in helping us.
Yes. Meditation is, it calm downs your mind. It's a state, basically. Meditation is state of mind. You can do meditation while playing music if you are a musician. If you are a gym freak, you can do it while you are gymming. Basically, it's a state of mind where the mind is very calm and peaceful, and you are enjoying the present moment, not in the past, not in the future. Being present.
So, ma'am, people that these days, we focus more on the outer appearance, and inner appearance is lost, which I feel is the most important factor that one should look into it, keeping the mind healthy more than the outer. Of course, eating healthy is important. Simultaneously, exercising is important. But, what exercise do we do for the mind? I mean, there are barely people who meditate or think there is something we should actually do about our mind.
Yeah, so there is this concept of sitting for meditation for hours and hours. To start with, see, everybody cannot do meditation. That is also one of the fact. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So whatever you are doing, whatever, eating food, just eat food. Don't take your mobile phone and scroll it. Don't eat when you're watching TV. So whatever work you are doing, just do that in that particular time. So what happens? No distraction, no other. Right now, because we are doing many things at a time, we are not doing it perfectly, and we are not also enjoying what we are doing. We are just doing it mechanically. So that is one way you can, reduce the chaos in your mind by just focusing on one task, one thing at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a better exercise for mind.
Yeah.
Keeping the mobile away.
Yeah, and you can focus. So
Yes.
this for everybody who's watching our live, you guys can actually write your questions in the comment section, which is given below. Aarti ma'am basically practices various kinds of meditation. She takes tarot session and she's a spiritual coach and a life healer. So you guys have any questions related to life, how to take care of your mind, mental health, stress, please type that in the comment below. And also we'll now be starting up with the questions that we have received from you guys. And you can always keep on writing your questions here in the live itself. We will try to answer that too. So, ma'am, we received many questions. We've shortlisted few that we felt were similar to each other. Now, we'll start with the first question where someone wants to know how to heal from the past. Also, one more thing, guys, we are talking in English. Is that okay, or do you want us to speak in Hindi? Please write that down too, so that everybody understands what we are discussing right now. Please tell us if English is fine or Hindi. तो अपने पास्ट से कैसे बाहर निकले मैम, हाउ टू हील फ्रॉम द पास्ट if somebody has had a major breakdown?
Yeah, so first thing, if देखो हमारे साथ nothing happens without any reason. First thing, understand this, कि हमने कहीं ना कहीं कोई ऐसे कर्म, it is all related to our own karma, maybe this life or our past lives karma associated with the person or a situation, something wrong or good, bad, whatever, I'm not going into that. Something we did and we get a reaction of it. So it's action we took and we got a reaction of that. Maybe it is this life karma or past life karma. So understanding this, first of all, understanding the karma concept, the law of karma, will ease out your resistance towards whatever happened. हम ये अगर एक्सेप्ट कर ले कि हाँ ये चीज मेरे साथ हुई है and there is a valid reason for it and this is the reason I'm going through, तो पहले तो हमारे अंदर एक acceptance, we will accept the situation, okay it is being done. Second thing what you can do is stop focusing on past. Now move forward, learn the lesson, whatever lesson you were supposed to learn from that particular situation, and focus on things which are positive, which you can look forward to, do things which you enjoy to do. And third and most important thing is forgiveness, like releasing that energy of the past, releasing with a acceptance that okay, whatever is done, now I'm moving forward and I'm leaving back this energy which is no longer part of my life. So this focusing on these three things will help you release the past.
Okay, so ma'am, can you just tell us those three things? One is forgiveness, focusing, now move on, learn the lesson, the lesson, and the most important thing is acceptance of that situation, that whatever has happened is out of my own karma. Yeah, that's the most difficult part, I feel, because when something wrong is happening, even if for example you accept it's karma, but the situation which is so devastating, it's very hard to take that acceptance that it's happening because of me. If someone else is hurting me, it's happening because of me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's very important to understand. And once acceptance comes, you become so light, and you are that is the readiness of you as an individual, that okay, I want to move forward once you accept it.
So similarly, ma'am, we'll take over the next question where the person is asking, what is the process to achieve everlasting mental strength? So if something, probably I think she means if something comes in the future, some hurdle, how does one take care of that? And how do you maintain that kind of strength and health of your mental level?
So here, see, to build up muscles, to get a good body, we go to gym, right? So if we build up our spiritual muscle, how good it will be. So building up our spiritual muscle, which everybody has. Some people take care of it, some people don't. So first and foremost thing to build up your spiritual muscle is start having faith. Having faith in whatever you believe in the higher power. And if the situation is like, you cannot do anything about it, then surrender. With complete faith, if you surrender and do not think anything negative about it, you will see how beautifully it will turn out. So first and foremost thing, according to me, this is my view, okay, is faith, believing in the divine power, whatever you are believing in, God, Allah, Jesus, Bhagwan, whoever you believe in. Even if you are a Nastik, you believe in a divine power, divine light, divine energy, whoever, something is running this world. Believe in that, have faith in that, and trust that something positive will come up. This will build up your spiritual muscle, which will help you in each and every aspect of your life, be it personal, professional, anywhere.
Okay. So, yeah, having faith, probably, trusting one source which is there to guide us.
Yes.
So, okay, that sounds really good. And we've got many questions related to meditation, apparently. So, guys, whoever meditates, send a wave here, and whoever doesn't, send us your questions. Ma'am, if you can, throw a light on, beginner's guide on how to start meditating, for people who've never done it. So,
Okay.
a beginner's guide where they enjoy the process. They don't just take this up as a serious thing for themselves, but also a fun thing for them to do it every day.
So, as I said, meditation is a state of mind where you calm down all the chaos in your mind. And what is the chaos? Chaos is all your thoughts, whatever you are thinking. So when your mind reaches a no thought state, is the most peaceful state a mind can experience. No thoughts. And it's not very difficult, but it's not very easy also to reach that state. But with practice, yes, you can reach that state. Second thing, that you don't have to sit for hours and hours of meditation. Simple thing, when you find yourself getting into stress, getting into anger, just observe your energy, and one simple thing is close your eyes and focus on your breathing. You don't have to go anywhere to search your breath. Okay, just find a quiet place and sit there at least for 5 minutes. Sit for meditation and focus on your breath, nothing else. Inhalation, deep breathing, and focus each breath. Focus on your each breath. And this you can do anytime, wherever, even if you are not stressed, just for relaxation, you can do this. This is a very simple practice you can start with.
Yeah. I personally feel breath work is the ultimate thing, actually, for anybody who is very busy, tired, and has a lot of thoughts running. So, even a 2-minute breath work can make wonders into the entire day. You go back to what you were doing, in a very different form once you do your breath work. So that has personally helped me since I started doing it, and things really changed. So yeah, that's a good tip. So ma'am, 5 minutes does that work for people?
For beginners, yes, for beginners, because they cannot sit for 15-20 minutes at a stretch. It's difficult for them. So start with 5 minutes and increase the duration slowly.
Okay, great. So ma'am, someone wanted to know that they feel stuck due to COVID. I mean, of course, they lost a lot of things, and now due to COVID, they don't have much to do in their life. So they feel stuck right now. There's nothing exciting, there's nothing to feel good about. So how do people cope up with this after effects of the pandemic that we're facing?
See, this situation that the entire world is facing, has faced, or still facing, is something which nobody has experienced before. This is a new experience that the entire humanity has experienced. So, the stuck word or the thought of being stuck comes from the fear aspect, and the situation which you are thrown is unknown, so you don't know what to do. This thought brings up this fear or the stuck word, feeling of stuck. So if you look around, yourself or whatever you were doing before, now it's an opportunity to focus more on yourself. Like, we have so much time that we can improve ourselves, we can focus on our mental and physical health. So if you are the people who get stuck just because you're not able to go out, is that the reason you are being stuck? Then that's a wrong reason of associating the word stuck with, because not going out and not meeting people, this can never make you stuck. There are always ways to connect with people, the way we are connecting right now. But yeah, so coming back to your question, that if you are feeling stuck, that is just your mental negative state, because there are lots of businesses that have flourished during this time. There are a lot of positive things that also has happened. If we are watching news, stop watching news, because from there a lot of negativity comes, and unnecessary mind starts boggling, fighting with you. Okay, पूरी दुनिया में ये चीज हो रही है, मेरे साथ क्या होगा? That fear is inflicted, injected through all these channels, media and all. So stop watching all these things. Observe from where you are getting negativity, and stop, block those channels. Even people, if you feel certain people are giving you negative energy or negative thoughts, just stop talking with that person, or just change the topic of discussion. That is the least you can do whenever you are communicating with anybody. Okay, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about, I don't want to go, I want to talk about something positive, which makes me optimistic. So stuck word is again your mental state, and you can always reprogram your mind and come out of it.
Yeah. And similar to this, somebody also wanted to know, how do I handle fear of saying no and build boundaries in a healthy way with people whom we are connected probably every day. She wanted to say no to certain things which don't do her any good, or maybe she doesn't want to do them, but still we do a lot of people pleasing activities.
Yes.
So how to say that in a healthy and a good way without spoiling the relationship?
See, the highest of all love is self-love. Like, if you put things in like a hierarchy, self-love comes at the top. For example, we all have traveled by airplane, right? So in airplane, the initial introduction of आपातकालीन situation में ये करे. Aerostess says the very beautiful thing. First, you wear the mask, and then help the other person wear the mask.
Yeah,
help yourself first, and then be capable enough to help other person. Here, a simple fact that unless you are strong enough to take care of others, whatever you are doing with them, if you are not strong enough, how can you help the other person, whatever they want you to do? So if something is bringing you vibrationally down, bringing you lower in your energy levels, just because you don't want to do it and you are doing it, politely learn to say no. By saying yes, you are overburdening yourself. you are taking too much in your plate that you cannot eat, and it's a waste, or you will have indigestion otherwise if you eat everything. So take whatever you can eat in a healthy way. Okay, so telling no to someone is not a bad thing. It's just giving priority to self. I'm not asking to be selfish. I'm not asking you to be self-centered. No, it's about self-love, loving yourself and prioritizing yourself first, so that you are able to help other people in a genuine and beautiful way.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel, ma'am, personally, we do not say no thinking we hurt the other person, or maybe we lose the person, in our life by saying no in small days activities. And it looks selfish at times. Maybe we don't know how to say politely no to people. That could also be one reason.
Yes.
That was actually a very good question. And, we have a lot of questions where people also want to know about chakra healing. There are people who've done it, but they feel, how do I notice the changes, and the benefits that chakra healing is providing to me? I've started practicing it, but I don't know how to measure the benefits of it. So if you can
See,
brief with chakra healing, ma'am, so that people get to know.
noticing, like, there is a noticeable effect once you start meditating on your chakras, the 7 chakra system that our body is, like, they are also called the energy centers of our body, and each chakra has a specific importance on our body. So when you start meditating, there is a method of it. First, you cannot start meditating on chakra like from the very first day. First, you have to cleanse your energy and come in that right kind of vibration, and then you can start chakra. So people who are saying that I'm doing chakra meditation or chakra healing, but I'm not getting effect, is because effect is there because right now your meditation is removing all the negativity from your chakras. So it's a lengthy process. If you do energy cleansing and then you do meditation on chakra, it will have a different kind of, you will see the immediate effect on it. But if you start from the very first time on chakra cleansing and healing, it will not be that effective. One thing, and do it in a proper way. If you will do it without any proper guidance, it might happen you will imbalance your chakras. So just don't do it out after searching YouTube and all those things. Do it under a proper guidance. Then you will see the effects of chakra, because chakra meditation is very powerful thing, and it has to show its effect on your body and mind. You will become more alive, agile, and more, like, you can feel yourself once your chakras are aligned. So make sure that you are doing it in a proper way, and you will see the effect, definitely.
Okay, so before that, one has to cleanse themselves by doing
energy cleansing. Yes.
Okay, and that can be done online, or they have to get in touch with specific healers like you?
Under guidance, I would prefer, like, if they do it under the guidance of someone, or they already have been doing since long time and they are already ready for the chakra things, then only they should start. Basically, they should consult first. For the new beginners and all, first timers, newbies, they should consult someone who is experienced in this.
I feel a lot of people use YouTube methods for meditation these days, and that could also be one reason you're not able to notice a lot of changes, because you don't have a professional person to help you and guide you through the process.
Yes, that's how, and you end up otherwise imbalancing your chakras also. That can also happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so professional guidance is a must.
Is required. Yes. To start with.
So we got few questions where people are asking, does meditation helps in depression? Now, we'll have to firstly tell people that such short duration to help you out from a topic like depression wouldn't be enough. So we wouldn't say anything short here, but we can still tell you what can help you heal in the process, alongside other things.
Yeah.
So how does meditation plays a role, ma'am, if somebody is clinically depressed?
See, understanding depression. What is depression? Depression is a low vibrational state of your body and mind. And how you have reached, everyone has their own story. That this is the reason I'm depressed and all those things. Again, you are depressed because of your own thought process. Correct? So if you have brought yourself in this state, you can bring yourself out of also from this state by reprogramming and rewiring your thought process, basically reprogramming your mind, how your mind operates. Making your mind stronger through meditation will definitely help you coming out of the depression, major depression also. When you start giving your mind positive commands that you don't want to do this, if you focus yourself on things which are more positive, more productive, gives you more confidence and courage, you will definitely come out of that state, the depressed state. And meditation is one of the best tools to come out of depression.
Okay. So, ma'am, what kind of meditation should they practice, or that should also be under guidance if somebody is seriously depressed, ill?
Meditation, for in case of depression, with counseling it will be better, because counseling will help in rewiring, in changing the thought process, the flow of the thoughts, how you think. And when you change your thought process completely, so what happens is somebody else has to tell you that this needs to be corrected, because we are in that state. Sometimes we don't know that we are in a cycle, and if someone comes and tells, okay, you have to break the cycle, then you realize that, okay, fine, this is how I have to do. But that person can only guide you. Action part has to be done by the person himself or herself only. Guidance will be provided, but actions have to be taken from you. And meditation is a very powerful tool to rewire and execute those changed thought process in your mind. So counseling with meditation is best way to come out of depression. Instead of going to the psychiatrist and taking all those medicines, try meditation. It works wonders.
Okay. And ma'am, we also have people who are saying they don't get time for meditation. They don't have a single minute to sit and meditate. And but there's a lot of stress. So how do they manage stress and their everyday tasks?
One main important thing that we started today's discussion with is awareness. If you stay in awareness that, okay, I'm getting stressed, I'm getting angry, I'm getting anxiety, I'm getting worried, I'm getting into fear. When you will acknowledge all these emotions, it will be very much easy for you to handle these emotions. What happens is, when you are in that autopilot mode, you are not in awareness, these emotions trigger you and you end up taking all wrong actions. Correct? So the key is to be aware of being in the present state. What am I thinking? What am I doing? Where am I going? Thought wise will help you to handle all this situation in a very profound way. See, there are so many people on the earth. Not everybody is doing meditation, but there are some very good achievers. They have achieved a lot of things. They have achieved this. I'm not saying they are doing meditation every day. It's through their mind control. If you know how to handle, how to control, how to give positive commands to your mind, you can handle any situation. And meditation is one of the tool. It's not the only tool. It's one of the best tools to discipline your mind. So yes, if you will stay in awareness, you, even if you don't do meditation, just be in the state of awareness, you will be able to handle all these emotions, all these negative emotions.
Okay. So, lastly, we'll close with, last few questions now. So, someone wants to know, how does tarot reading helps, ma'am? If you can just take us through.
Tarot reading is a beautiful tool. It's really beautiful tool to, figure out where you are and where you can go. Basically, we get into any kind of situation is through our thoughts, and as I said, through our karma. These two things, and through tarot, we can find out what is the actual situation that you are in the situation, and you will find a definite guidance from tarot reading that what you should do and what you should not do. That if any decisions you are taking, you can consult tarot and just get a guidance that wherever you are going is correct or not. Of course, there is your instinct and all, but it's outside guidance that we can use, a spiritual guidance, that why you are in this situation and what can be the probable solution for this situation.
Okay.
So that's how tarot works, as a guidance.
Okay. So, ma'am, how does one get in touch with you, and how does one take an appointment with you if it's tarot related, counseling, meditation, healing, or even life coaching?
Uh, there is a website details on my Instagram profile. You can click on that, and there is a get contact me option where you can email me or you can call me. This number is also there, and I mostly do online sessions. So wherever you are in India, doesn't matter. We can conduct an online session if you want. You don't have to come physically uh, present in front of me for this.
Okay, that would be great. And ma'am, if it is a meditation course, how does one, apply? Is it a duration based, or do you give a trial or something for people who want to get started?
How I do it is like I take whoever contacts me first. I do a consultation. First session is consultation where I try to know where the problem is coming from. What is the actual problem? Sometimes people don't understand. They think the profession is the problem, but actually there is problem at the personal front. So I try to understand from where the source of problem is, and then I design a specific course, like in the I call it 21-day transformation program, wherein specifically to that person I design a program and we execute it through meditation and counseling both.
Okay.
So yeah, same thing, you can get in touch through my website or phone number is there, and we can take it from there.
Okay. So, guys, I think that was enough. We had shared a lot of details and also what Aarti ma'am does. So, if any kind of services you guys are looking forward for, I would suggest you can try out meditation or tarot session, which could be more like a first counseling session where you can understand the pain points and what exactly needs a change. There's no harm in trying out and seeing how does the meditation process works for you, because it does bring a lot of changes and a lot of benefits, as ma'am has suggested, and we know it all. So thank you for this great session and your time. I think we had some great questions from people. There are some more, but I think we'll take that up in our next session if we do that too.
Sure.
So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you
Anything if
very
you
much,
would like to
Ashita.
tell people?
Just one thing, that a lot of people are coming to me with regards to this COVID situation and fear, depression, anxiety, all those things. If you strengthen, if you make your mind strong, you can deal with any situation in life. And don't leave, have faith in the divine guidance. These two things, if you inculcate within you, you can face anything and everything in life.
So basically, trust, day-to-day practice to inculcate these knowledge.
Yes.
Your mental health become stronger and stronger. That's what
Yes.
people want to know.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for these amazing tips and helping out so many people today. I hope that helps them. And guys, ma'am's page on Instagram is the Earth Angel Healing. Our website is also the earthangelhealing.com. And you can go check out her services. And you can also speak to her if you would like to know anything. She will surely reply. Her team will get back to you. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ashita. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.